Okay, it's time for game number 3 between Omee and ViperMusashi. It's going to be on Heavy Rain. This will be the last game of the show match for today. I'm looking forward to see what these two players bring forward. Both of them took very commanding games, and this third one should be a treat. On the top left of the map here on Heavy Rain, it is our red player, ViperMusashi. In the bottom right here on Heavy Rain, it is his opponent, also sporting the Zerg pieces, the pink player, Omee. So by the way, massive shout outs to the day-night community member who actually made this logo. You'll notice this logo is also present on the VOD's website for the day-night show matches. It's really nicely done and really good work on her part. Nobody doing anything particularly crazy. We have reached 10 supply and there's no spawning pool. GLHF being wished by Omee. Viper returning it. Not much to be said about that. Nobody doing anything particularly crazy. Let's see if they stick with the same builds that they've been using the entire time. I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing, mind you. I actually am, like Day 9, kind of a fan of repetition. I'm trying to improve at something. I'm trying to make the little things as good as you possibly can. So unlike a couple of the other maps that have been played today, this one, of course, being a 2v2 is never a... He says whenever he plays this map in the morning, there's always a bad glare. It's the same. Interesting. I'm not sure I 100% understand that comment, but might want to do something about that light source behind you guys. That's all I can say. Spawning pool coming up from Omee. Looks like the usual play. Hatchery first and then the spawning pool. One thing that you guys have probably noticed is that despite the rather dramatic difference in the way that they've started, both of these guys have ended up in a pretty similar place most of the time, except that Omee takes his natural far later than most players do, and Viper made a really good job taking advantage of that in the previous game, and we'll see if he's able to do that again here. Taking that gas. So the one thing this does give Omee is the ability to get speedlings far faster than his opponent. He has not really been able to take advantage of that though, as the setup from Viper has been more than enough to deal with it. He hasn't grabbed the spine crawler this time though. And if he doesn't, I wonder if that may be just enough for this harassment to get something done. 2 lings moving out now. I think this Overlord did pick up on that. Nope. Yeah, he did see him on just the edge there, even though I moved the camera on me. And he does see 2 more lings moving out. So we should see that spine crawler. Yep, there it is. The spine crawler coming down right now. And a couple lings coming up. Roach Warren going for that a lot faster this time with ViperMusashi. Looks like he's changing up his style a little bit. I'm glad to see this. I think this is a good choice, all things considered. He knew that that previous game worked out pretty well. He's going to need some defenses against Omee. Omee's a very aggressive player. It's just something that he successfully pieced together as a result of this, playing with him a couple times already. And it looks like Omee's actually trying to hide the number of lings off to the side. Unfortunately, thanks to the placement of this Overlord, he's actually seen most of that, I'm pretty sure. Let's check with this... this view right here. Yeah, he sees more and more lings moving out. So he's aware that something's coming at him. We have a few lings already for ViperMusashi. There's no queen down here and no spine crawler though, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to engage against these speedlings that now have metabolic boosts moving up here. And here we go, lings running out into the main and running into the natural of the base though, and getting a very nice surround on ViperMusashi for the most part. The possession of speed by the lings though gives them a massive advantage in a heads-up fight, and for the most part they're able to take that. He can now pressure the natural. He can't end the game just yet. There's too much in the way of defenses on the high ground. 2 drones being evacuated immediately. It looks like Omee may be able to actually force that natural to go down. We do have some roaches coming up here. 3 roaches is not enough against just this amount of lings on its... Actually, it might be. Now with the reinforcements coming in, I think by the time the roaches are actually done, moving them down the ramp to try and kill that might be a little bit of a mistake, but it looks like he's going to try and do it. Nope. Backing up to get some more help. Is waiting for the additional roaches to complete. And there's actually one more roach in the low ground being built down there. And Omee has backed off. He's destroyed the natural. He's done a very nice amount of damage, but it looks like he's not done just quite yet. He's trying to position his lings out to the side. Ran back out to try and convince his opponent that he was leaving. Now he's running, and he's seen the roaches, so the lings are going to back off from here. Unless he gets a lot more numbers, it's going to be quite difficult to engage against a wall like that. He's trying to go in for the cancel. Does not cancel it. It's a very huge amount of damage to ViperMusashi as a result. And, ooh, finally getting a very nice surround on the roaches right there. They will be able to kill a lot of the lings, but not before taking very, very rough losses. And Omee is taking a very commanding lead in this game. He doesn't have a drone lead yet, so even though he has killed the hatchery, this extra hatchery for him is really only giving him a production edge, not much more beyond that. Still mining gas up here. ViperMusashi trying to rebuild that roach count, getting 4 more out. And I think he can hold the high ground here. Just needs to not engage against that ling ball. I don't know if I like him moving down here. Bringing that spine crawler over might be wise as well, just because at this point, the ling numbers have actually reached the point that they may be able to fight through that. Doesn't look like Omee's going to try it. He's just going to do a different version of the same strategy he used in the first game, which is to just prevent his opponent from ever taking the natural and put a chokehold on the opposing Zerg player. Now, unfortunately, he can't do anything fancy with the lings, like hide them in the corner, because there's 2 overlords hanging above him. But he's moving off to the side to try and convince his opponent again that he's leaving, and it looks like he's just going to move out and check for any ninja expansions, or perhaps just hide the lings in the corner for now. 6 roaches here for ViperMusashi. Back in Omee's base, we can see that he's picking up +1 armor on the roaches. I mean, on his for his lings, and then back up here we can see that ViperMusashi has now picked up a baneling nest. There's also a spire coming out for Omee, so it looks as if Omee wants to get into that ever so powerful ling mute attack. This time, unfortunately, there will be no cancel, so Omee's going to have to back off. Rough to lose that many lings like that, but it is a worthwhile endeavor for the most part here. And I think the game's trying to play the wrong track here, so let's just switch that. Brood War music doesn't always work in Game Hard for some reason. This should more or less fix it. And for some reason it's playing the Protoss music even though the guy's playing Berserk. Okay, cool. Whatever. 3 lings out at the front here, another ball moving up through the center. This, yeah, with this many roaches here, I don't think they can get too much done in a direct confrontation, but there is a massive hole in the center now. They can actually rush up into the main base. There's no defenses up here other than a queen, and they would be able to get some damage done against the mineral line. Omee doesn't know all this, though, so I think it's rather wise of him to keep his lings back. He doesn't know the defensive setup of his opponent, which for some reason, these guys are just hugging this queen, like hanging out with her, like, hey, just want to make sure you don't get hurt. We really like you, really like you, queen. Now he's trying to actually harm the creep spread of his opponent as much as he can. This is interesting. In a ZVZ, the only time you really want creep spread is when you're using ground army. If you're going up into Mutalisks, it's better for there not to be creep because your opponent can't approach you as quickly as you can approach him. So, as you can see here, this is actually a very nice move from Omee, given that he's trying to go into air tech from here. Unfortunately for ViperMusashi, he just doesn't appear to have known anything about the Mutalisks until just now. Spore Crawlers now immediately going down, but they're not going to be up for a little bit yet, and only at the main base. There's actually not any at the natural just yet, which means that this location is vulnerable to Mutalisk harass. There's only 1 queen there. The Overseer runs through the base, gets an idea of what the layout looks like, and it looks like Omee's just going to dance around at the front for a little bit. 2 more Mutalisks, 3 more, 4 more, 4! Moving to join the army at the front. A total of 7 Mutalisks with 2 more to back them up in just a moment. Another Spore Crawler coming down in the... 2 more coming down in the main base of Vipers. 3 more coming down in the main base of ViperMusashi. Unfortunately, putting them that close together is actually blocking mining a little bit, so it's annoying, but not too big of a factor. Mutalisk moving in, killing 2 worker. We get a 3rd, going to be able to force a cancel on that. The army is coming up here to distract the Mutalisks as much as they can, not so much shoot up at them because they can't really do that. They're actually just going to hug that queen as much as they can to ensure that the bounce does as much damage as it possibly can. Sorry, I'm getting sarcastic. Anyway, Ling's moving in at the front from Omee, recognizing the weakness of the positioning here from ViperMusashi. And holy crap, those do a lot of damage to flying things that are biological. Mutalisk actually able to poke in its... Oh, losing the spawning pool would be an incredible blow to ViperMusashi at this point. Such an important piece of tech. And there's almost nothing he can really do this out there. There's this one random Mutalisk, which is just kind of hanging out, poking at the army. He's going to die, the Spore Crawler. With that falling down now, the army is coming up here again, I guess, just to try and provide a distraction for the Mutalisks, which they are somewhat able to do. Two Hydras down there, another one down here, about to pop out. 3 Hydras, I guess, must be one hidden in there. 3 Hydras against 6 Mutas? I'm pretty sure 6 Mutas wins that fight, actually. Unless they're not paying attention, in which case the Mutalisks will be in some trouble. Nope, Omee does keep an eye on it. And yeah, he can just take out the Hydras one by one. There isn't anywhere near enough of them to actually beat off this army, so... This is a rough spot for our Red Zerg, but there are Spore Crawlers in play now. And Omee is helping him out a little bit by basically throwing away a few Lings here. I think he tried to get another another destruction on them. Whatever, I don't know what the word is. He wanted to kill the natural, guys. That's what he was trying to say. I was going to say he was trying to cancel the natural again, but that doesn't make any sense because it's already there. He's going to kill the Hydra Den, though. Ooh, that hurts. This is basically a gateway for Omee to just continue making Mutalisks. So he knows if he gets enough, the Spore Crawlers won't matter. And now he's just gonna... Oh, it's just killing all the tech. ViperMusashi's Roche Warren is just about to fall. Could lose the Baneling Nest next. There's not really any Lings for him to use that with, so now he's just gonna walk out with the Roaches and do what he can. He's engaging the Lings. Unfortunately, they're engaging under the Mutalisks. They're gonna take some damage from that. None of the Roaches have actually died yet. Oh, there goes one. 2. And the army, as it gets smaller and smaller, is confronted with the reality that there's no way to make more Roaches. The spawning pool is still on the way. ViperMusashi has no army and he can't make another one. Not until this building finishes. GG, nice unit control. Well said.